The U.S. Health Secretary, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., has blocked $500 million of funding for research into vaccines for respiratory disease. The longtime vaccine skeptic said more than 20 government contracts for mRNA-type jabs, similar to those credited with helping the world out of the COVID pandemic, were now being cancelled. He said his department had concluded they posed more risk than protection against respiratory illness. Such assertions by Mr. Kennedy have been widely criticised by doctors and health experts. Here's a clip of him explaining his decision.
After reviewing the science and consulting top experts at NIH and FDA, HHS has determined that mRNA technology poses more risk than benefits for these respiratory viruses. That's why, after extensive review, BARDA has begun the process of terminating these 22 contracts, totaling just under $500 million. To replace the troubled mRNA programs, we're prioritizing the development of safer, broader vaccine strategies, like whole virus vaccines and novel platforms that don't collapse when viruses mutate. Let me be absolutely clear. HHS supports safe, effective vaccines for every American who wants them. That's why we're moving beyond the limitations of mRNA for respiratory viruses and investing in better solutions.
Professor Katalin Karikó is a biochemist and researcher best known for her contributions to mRNA technology and the COVID-19 vaccines. Professor Karikó and her colleague Drew Weissman were jointly awarded the 2023 Nobel Prize for Medicine for their discoveries that enabled the modified mRNA technology used in the Pfizer-BioNTech and Moderna's vaccines to prevent COVID-19 infection. This was her view on the cuts on funding.
Is a huge, huge mistake. It was based on misinformation and not evidence. He ignored evidence, he ignored facts. And the US ability to develop vaccine during the next pandemic suffers tremendously.
Yeah, I want to come on to that, absolutely. Just looking at some more of what he's saying, and he says shifting the funding towards what he calls safer, broader vaccine platforms that remain effective even as viruses mutate is what the US Health Department plans to do. Now, do vaccines like that exist? Because I think if people think about the annual flu jab, for example, sometimes after people have received a flu jab, they are then told, well, actually, that wasn't a suitable formula to deal with the strain that emerged that year. So do vaccines exist that remain effective as viruses mutate?
No, he had all of this misinformation, but what you can expect, he's a lawyer and making a decision in medicine that lacking all of the information and asking, I don't know which kind of expert. This should be listed there because they said that they are very transparent and we should know that who was the expert. He made this decision, and obviously because it is untrue.
So 22 projects in total affected by the cancellation of these funds, including research done by Moderna, Pfizer and others. What sort of impact will this cancellation have on that work that they're doing?
Obviously, the global progress of vaccine research will be hurt by this tremendously. National security of the U.S. is hurt by that. And, I myself I was moving to the United States from Hungary. From Hungary, when I couldn't, here in the US, I couldn't do, I moved to another country. So it seems that, scientists need to move to another country if they want to advance on this messenger RNA vaccine field. So it is, as a national security for the US will suffer.
But the research will continue, will it, albeit perhaps at a slower pace?
Yes, of course. That right now in China, Japan, in Europe, all over the world, messenger RNA is used for vaccines and other developments for therapeutic use and cancer vaccine and others, and it also infectious disease vaccine. So, it will move on, but, the U.S. will left behind.
You've just told us that the security of the US will be impacted by this move. To what extent could it impact the rest of the world as well?
Yeah, because the U.S. is a leader in many of this field and have the whole world globally. So it will suffer. And you know, when you know, science has no respect and fund will not go there, so that scientists, not everybody can move and transfer the science in another country. So it is, they will move and they will start to do other research. But I am just completely speechless that I think it never happened that the HHA secretary ever made a decision based on, you know, fake information that stop research on a field. It never happened.